What up, guys? Today we got a question from an assistant coach who recently had a 71-year-old fella come in for his very first Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class. This 71-year-old guy has very limited mobility with his body, has incredibly arthritic knees to the point where they're probably going to need to be replaced soon. And so he gets this guy in. He says they spend a good amount of time kind of getting his background, figuring out what he can and can't do, and then during the training side of it, he does a little bit of jiu-jitsu technique and drills, and then spends a lot of time doing solo movements like back break fall, side falls, shrimps, things of that nature. And he says that after the class was over, he went and talked to some of the other coaches, and he's like, hey guys, what should I be doing for this particular guy? And the other coaches told him, hey man, you should probably get him to see like a specialist or someone. You really shouldn't be working with this guy. But he said the guy came in, wants to do it, and so he wants to sort of take up the challenge upon himself to help this guy out. And so he sends me the message asking if I have any advice on dealing with someone that's a little bit more of advanced age, a little bit older, and how to ease them into jiu-jitsu properly. So, brother, thank you for the question. You didn't leave your name, so just call you bro. So check this out, bro. Think about this person as if they are injured, right? That's the way that you need to sort of go into this with the mindset, because essentially they are, right? If you take someone that's like that has really arthritic knees, really bad mobility from, just years of either injuries or dysfunctional living because maybe they sit too much or whatever, they essentially move and operate like someone that's injured, right? Again, here's a great example. My buddy Eli, a good friend of mine, my nutrition coach, lifting coach, he since got his shoulders repaired and fixed and actually replaced, but he had a genetic issue where his shoulders had this arthritic, I don't know the type of arthritis he had, but it had all this arthritis, and he literally could not extend his arms, either one of them, back like this. He couldn't move around. His range of motion was incredibly limited, and if it got yanked back too much, it would be a bad situation for him. Now, somehow through all that, he was able to become a professional bodybuilder and build some big-ass shoulders, but had to work around it, right? So again, what we did was we got in and worked on it, and I essentially treated him like he had two injured shoulders. That was the way that I rolled with him. That's the way that I taught him. And essentially, when we would move around, I would say, hey, how does that feel? Does that hurt? Does it not hurt? And as long as it didn't hurt, we would keep doing it, right? Because when you're injured, really, you have to ask yourself that question. I can't do this, so what can I do? And whatever you can do that doesn't hurt, keep going down that rabbit hole, keep going down that direction, right? And so with this guy, everything should come from that mindset. He's essentially injured. He's got really bad knees. We don't want to push him, right? It's not about pushing this guy. He's 71 years old. He's in the twilight of his existence, right? What he's there for is more than likely experiencing it, learning the techniques, becoming a part of the group and having some camaraderie there, all that kind of stuff. He's not going to be the next world beater, world champion, right? So we don't need to push him into it. We don't need to get him into rolling really fast. We want to ease this guy in with a lot of movement drills to help improve his movement capacity, because probably as he moves more, he'll probably have better range of motion, better mobility. And then from there, doing the techniques, kind of learning what we're doing and experiencing that for himself. And then again, if he does do any sort of movement, like rolling wise, it should be at an incredibly light pace with someone that is very experienced who can stop him from hurting himself or someone hurting him, right? Because again, if you're 71 years old and you get injured, the body ain't what it used to be at that point. You may not come back from that injury. It may not ever recover, right? That might just be a lifelong injury that sticks with you. So again, we want to be very careful with that. So that would be my sort of, again, I'm not giving you an exact plan because I don't know the extent of his background and his injuries, right? But everything that you're going to do for this guy should come from that place. Imagine that he's injured. That's the way to treat him, right? If anything hurts, stay away from it. Do not let him roll full speed. Keep him tight, keep him with people that are controlled so that you can flow, maybe move around a little bit at most, but you don't want to get him into a situation where he's rolling with the 200-pound white belt that's going to go crazy, maybe tear up his knees or possibly injure his shoulder or whatever it might be. So anyway, just an idea to chew on, bro. Hopefully it helps. Talk to you guys next time.